I want us to share the YouTube link as wide as possible. Once we do that, then this class is going to be dedicated to everyone here, because in the next 1.5 minutes, 1.5 hours, we are going to fire on this wonderful session. This is not a session for everyone, it's a session for the few who understand the importance of effective training and communication. Many people, many of us, we have this knowledge, we have this expertise, but when it comes to delivering excellent training, there are gaps. When it comes to communicating what we have, there are gaps. And I think it's a basic responsibility for everyone to actually know how to communicate what they have, to actually train people. So this is a training for everyone, and I believe that at the end of this training, we'll be equipped with the right knowledge and resources to actually, to a good extent, train people and also train others. I'm trying to ensure that it is the link that is being pasted here. What is being pasted here is the, okay, so please, for all that I can copy and paste, please let us make use of that. We are already live on YouTube, and in a couple of minutes, we'll commence this training. Please kindly confirm that you can see my screen. Kindly confirm that my screen is visible.
Well, you can see your screen. Good evening.
All right, good evening, sir. Good evening. So from my side here, it is already 5:15, and we'll be commencing this training properly. Thank you all once again for joining us today. Like I said earlier, my name is Waliu Adegoke, and today we'll be going through a introduction. It's actually an introductory section to training, effective training. One, I'm not going to dwell much on many of the details. We are going to take it one at a time for us to have an effective training session. Training is, like I said, one of the common things that we do directly or indirectly. Even when you communicate your needs and expectations to people, or when you tell them about your experience, or when you try to educate them on something, training necessarily doesn't mean it has to be 100% formal. It has to have everybody seated. Once you are trying to educate people on a subject matter, then there are elements of training, and that is what today is going to be about. There is no much of introduction. My name is Wale Adegoke. My name is Wale Adegoke. My name is Wale Adegoke, and I'm the lead trainer and consultant for Cordial Safety Consult. And like you have said, today is going to be about effective training. What are the basics? What are the elements? Like I said, we are not going to dwell too much because it's supposed to be a 3-day class, or if possible, more than that. But basically, a 3-day class is enough to actually educate us on this aspect. However, let's see how far we can actually drill ourselves and enlighten ourselves on this subject. One thing that you must know, like I said, there's no much going back and forth. We want to hit it straight and go straight to the point. First thing that happens when you want to train people, when you want to educate people on something, is your appearance. Remember, if we throw back to when we were in secondary school, then, when we were in secondary schools, we had different kind of teachers. We have teachers that there are some teachers that they have signatory shoes. There are some, and as I'm talking now, you remember some teachers that their shoes used to make you laugh, some the way they dress. And you agree with me that subconsciously, you tend to pay attention, you tend to listen to teachers that dress properly in class. You tend to focus when you see a teacher that you know that, okay, this teacher dressed properly, then you might not have differentiated that it is because of this dressing that I'm actually paying attention. But just picture that then you have a teacher that dressed corporately to class and wants to teach you. There are chances that you pay more attention to such teacher than a teacher that comes to class with this Kano shoe and the shirt is not well ironed and is not looking well dressed and is looking ill. There is this perception, this cognitive bias that comes with the approach when it comes to dressing. So as a trainer, the first point that you want to educate your student on, or your delegates on, is how you appear. And people will ask me, what about virtual training where you do not appear most of the time, where you switch on your camera? Then in that case, the way you have been presenting yourself over time on the social media handles play important roles. These are things that you don't know about, that you might not have heard about training. The way you have pictured yourself, your post on social media, on LinkedIn, on Facebook. So when it comes to presentation of training, your actual action or activeness in training is not just that day that you want to train people. It's about what you have laid down right from, let's say, a year, 2 years, or a few months back, and what you have constantly developed over time. Because when you visit people physically, they judge you physically. But when you are communicating virtually, they judge you based on what they see online. So your dressing is very, very important. How you present yourself matters. The way you dress is the way you are addressed, and it is the way people perceive you and the way they listen to you. So communication is a very important part. Dressing, your attire, is a very important part of your training, of having an effective training session. Please, Mr. or Mrs. Bamidele, please, we want you to take off your camera. Please, let's take off our camera so that we will not distract the training session. Let's take off our camera so that we will not distract the training session. Then up close and personal, we're training with students, maintaining personal hygiene. Now, yes, this is another very important part. It's very similar to dressing too, because you need to smell nice. When you're having physical training, your composure really matters. Even if you have a kind of uniform, maybe your training institute or the kind of training that you deliver it requires that you wear a kind of uniform dressing, it still doesn't matter. How you present yourself physically matters in training. Not just about what you know, because perception matters. Whether you like it or not, people judge. Whether you like it or not, let me repeat that, people judge. And judge is just subconscious, is what happens from the mind, is a state of the mind. There is this cognitive bias that comes with everything we do. And people buy or sell with emotion. People buy with emotion. I'll still come to that and how it leads to training later. Now, maintaining a professional demeanor is very important. Use your discretion in words and action. We are still going to break this down as we go on in this class. Use discretion in your words. There are words that are very sensitive. I've remembered many times that I've gone to train in I won't call it a gender-based environment, but from my judgment of those that are in the class, I know that yes, especially when you have females in class, there are some kind of jokes that you do not make when it comes to gender. Because when it comes to professional environment, gender sensitivity is very, very important. So there are some kind of jokes that you do not make in class, because those are the things that will make them to pass overall judgment of your effectiveness of your training. Because you need to understand the individuals that are present in the training section. Be fair, respectful, and unbiased to all. And there's one thing I used to say, you have the 3 F and the 3 Cs. I want you to write that in the chat. Maybe we'll meet it later as we go on in this class. What are the 3 F? Be fair, be firm, and be friendly. I want you to write that in the chat room. 3 F. You need to be fair, you need to be firm and friendly. I want us to write that in the chat room. If you are watching live on YouTube, just put it in the comment section. Fair, F, the first F, you need to be fair. You need to be firm, and you need to be friendly. Because in training sessions, you will have opportunity to train different caliber of people. Opportunity to train people at the lowest level, mid-level, and high level. Firmness is very important, especially when you are dealing with directors, when you are training directors. You don't say because you are training directors, you drop down your level, you drop down your professionalism. No, there are times that you need to be firm when it comes to role plays and the likes. Only 3 people have responded to us. We are 38 in this class. I want us to engage in this class. Our class must be engaging. And that is one of those things you must learn in training sessions. You must learn to engage your delegate, especially during virtual sessions. You must learn to engage them consistently. When you have opportunity to engage, engagement doesn't necessarily mean you have to create group every time. There are some times that the opportunity that you have will not allow you to say you want to have group sessions, but engaging at every point in time. So if you are learning this now as we are talking, I want you to reciprocate that by engaging in this class, unless you're just here to just listen to what Wally wants to say again. We are here to learn. Everybody must be engaged because you must put that into practice. So firmness is very important. You must be fair at all times, unbiased. Don't place judgment that person is quiet, he doesn't listen, he's quiet, definitely I won't be calling him. No, it's that quiet person that you must call more and also engage those that are also listening. You must pay attention to the details of people in the class, call their attention. Then you must be friendly in class. It is part of what you should do to learn how to crack joke. And the next one is the 3 C's. Cool, calm, and collected. Your appearance must be cool all time. If you want to do training for the next 3 days, the clothes they are going to put on, you must have planned it. The shoes you are going to put on must, in fact, dressing is another part of training in trainer course. How do you appear? Some people don't know how to dress. You are wearing a black shoe and you are putting on a brown belt, and you are putting on a purple wristwatch. There is what we call dress sense. It is very important. Your appearance will set the pace for the training. So you must be cool in your appearance. You must be calm in the way you many times, and this is what I'm trying to avoid. I said I won't spend much time on each slide when I'm ended up spending time on slides. But as we go on, we'll skip some parts. So if you have people that you think that will benefit from this class, send them the link to join this class now, because this is a free session. This is a free session, and I tell you, I know how much people pay for this. Put this down. Put this down. And if you don't put it down, it's to my advantage because it's part of those things that I use. So if you don't put it down, it's to my advantage. Now, I'm talking about being calm. Now, when you train people and they are communicating to you, like they are asking questions or they are making inquiries about something or they are responding to your question or they are making comments, absorb knowledge by putting aside what you need to ensure that you receive information with logic. Receive the information with logic. Don't use emotion to receive information because you will meet different kind of students in class. You will meet different kinds of students in class. Some will want to frustrate you. Some will want to show I don't know. Some will want to how will I put it? Disqualify. I'm looking for the right word to use. Some want to disqualify what you know or what you have told them in class. Many times I've gone to class and after the class, someone will want to just make it look like I did not say anything. And funny enough, it is the students that are in class that will now counter him. How do you do that? How do you ensure that, see, when you train people, there are politics in training. See, every class, there's a politics. You must be, especially when you are training high class people, because some people they are coming with the opinion that I'm coming to show this trainer that he doesn't know anything, that I know more than him. And one thing about trainers is that you don't necessarily need to know everything. So in class, you must have built that relationship with if not everybody, with the majority of the class, so that when some kind of students try to counter you, it is those people that will respond to him, that will answer the questions of your BI. That's happened to me many times. Exactly when you go to train directors and you see some people, there was a class that I went to. I was training staff of CBN, and after 3 days, a woman now stood up and said, then I was training them on mental health. It was a mental health class. And the woman said, then how do you address mental health issue? And I was like, then what have you been doing for the past 3 days? It was the students, it was the delegates, his colleague that were now, responding to her that this man has already explained everything to us and there's no other thing for us to know again unless you are not in class. They responded on my behalf. So you must learn to build. That is why when you're training, you watch, you read the language of those that are in class. You know those that are friendly and you get close to them, you engage them. When you crack your jokes, and ensure that your jokes are not too sensitive. Be fair, be respectful and unbiased. And like I've said, I was explaining something the other time. I said, you receive information, you receive message with logic, but you reply with emotion. You let your emotion drive your communication in class. I said it. I said if you don't write this down, then it's to my advantage. When they want to ask you questions, they have the ability to ask you questions that can make you lose your balance. How do you respond to questions that are difficult? I don't know if it's going to be on this slide that I'm going to use for this training, but let me just chip it in. There's something called throwback to the roots and upgrade to the answer. You don't necessarily need to answer every question directly. There are some questions that they will ask you that you do not have immediate answer, but because you are ready to go back to the root, to the beginning, your subconscious mind will drive you to the answer. And even if that your final statement is not the answer, along the line, the explanation will have created some kind of understanding. These are the psychology to training. Anything that you want to understand, anything that you have, put it at home. Sometimes, for example, these days, we have issue of gender sensitivity. If you are the gender sensitive type that you don't want them to even make comments on your gender, and you want to go and train, you will meet people that will make comments. And before you know it, the class starts getting scattered. The class starts becoming, you are unable to take hold of the class because you meet different kind of people in class. Religion and politics opinion are not allowed in the classroom. See, this is very, very important. Especially political comments. I've been in class where they want to turn the class to political class. You need to learn how to take hold of your class. This is just the first slide. I'm going to move through in fire now. Now, the learning platform and skillful trainer. What makes you a skillful trainer? Skillful means involvement. Involvement is the focus of being skillful. It means that you are deliberate about the training. Put whatever you have aside and be involved in the training session. Don't just pass information. You are not a composer that is passing information. You are passing information and you are influencing the information into the heart, mind, and soul of your delegate. Ensuring that people understand what you are communicating, breaking it down into the simplest form. You know, I said the other time, they will ask you questions and you don't know the immediate answer. Have you ever been in a situation whereby a delegate will ask a question and you will provide answer and all the delegates will clap for you like you won lottery? It has happened to me several times. How? Because instead of just answering the question directly, I go back to the basis. Then I climb it direct. I climb gradually to like get to the answer, and I answer the question based on where I'm coming from, in line with what the person wants, what the person is asking for. And like I said, even if my answer is not satisfactory, the fact that I've gone through the process to answer the question is what creates engagement, involvement. Many people, they overdo because you want to be passionate about training. Now, you are not seeing me physically now, but as I'm training, I'm driving engagement. As I'm training, I'm building that frequency. That's what we call frequency in training. You need to build how do you build frequency? You build frequency with your tune of training. You build frequency with your tune of engagement. That's what we call frequency in the world of hearts and mind. You build frequency. You let people resonate with your frequency. You build the frequency of your student to come with your own frequency. Sometimes students might get tired. And when they are tired, they do not belong to that frequency. So you need to create something to build them up with that frequency. You know, especially when it comes to the afternoon session, when the training efficiency is getting low, what you need to do is start creating that frequency regularly. Let's say, for example, you make jokes every 1 hour in the morning part. In the afternoon part, you should be making jokes every 30 minutes. Asking questions every 30 minutes or every 15 minutes so that because their battery has drained, you need to bring them down. Sorry, you need to bring them up again, bring them up again to your frequency regularly. That's why they ask, how do you make sure that your class is engaging all through? These are the principles. It is not rocket science, it is what we can all learn. Focus on your learners. Don't be distracted. Good trainers should bring any training to life. Ensure that there is life in the training. Not just be talking and be looking at the board and be talking. You must ensure that you are passionate about the training. You are delivering powerful words. If you have opportunity that sometimes I'll be in class and I'll be like, what I just said now is a rhyme. And I'll repeat it and I'll tell my student to write it. Sometimes you might quote something in class. You might drop a quotation that just came from your explanation, and you repeat such word, and you make them to get familiarized with those words. Those are the beauty of training. There are 3 factors that must happen for a successful learning experience: the knowledge you are sharing, the environment that you are sharing the knowledge. Environment must be conducive. And the environment is not only the physical environment, even the subconscious environment. Now I'm creating an environment for us now. I'm creating an environment for us that I don't know how many people are focused with us, but if you are focused, please write focus in the chat room. If you are focused and you believe that you are at my frequency now, type yes in the chat room. Let me know how many people are at my frequency level now. One person? Okay, okay. Yes, I can see many of us are at our frequency level now. It is driving engagement. How many times have you heard me say in this class now? How many times? I don't know. I'm still going to talk about some things that are very quiet in training that I've seen people do. And once in a while, I also do it too. I don't know what they call it in English language, but there's this habit of we having a common word that we make every time. Some people, most people, their common word is as in, you know. By the time you are training delegates and you are saying you know, as in, before you say 3 words, you have said as in. We are still going to come to that later, but I just remember that now. That frequency must be there. The environment you're training must be the environment that everybody is in that frequency, and physically it must be conducive. The best environment that you can that I've seen, that I believe, is an environment, a white environment, painting everywhere white, and putting some keywords on frames that create that atmosphere. With those ones, we'll talk about it later. Don't let me start talking about that now. The involvement skills. How do you involve your delegates? How do you involve your delegates? How do you involve your delegate? How do you ensure that your like I said from the beginning, for those that didn't start with us from the beginning, involvement of delegate doesn't mean it has to always be group discussion. Yeah, group discussion is fine, but engagement of students is not only limited to group discussion. And I've given an example at the beginning of this class that I will not repeat again. What are the training methods that we have? We have the ones of case studies. When you have case studies, you have debate. You can put them into groups, debate about this. You can debate that, okay, for example, let's look at the Piper Alpha disaster. You can create a debate. Okay, a group will debate that the permit to work system is the root cause of the accident, of the disaster. Another group to say that, no, it's not the root cause. It is another thing entirely. You can create debates. It doesn't mean that some people must be right or wrong. Hands-on training, scenario-based training. For example, auditing, we do a lot of scenario-based training because you can't practically say that an organization will give opportunity to come and do audit because you want to train your student. But you can create scenarios, brainstorming sessions, role-playing exercises, demonstration, group discussion, structured exercises, and trainer presentation. And for those that have attended setting the pace 1.0, 2.0, we didn't do it in 3.0 because of time. 1.0, 2.0, and the KBSAI, the Auditors Hangout. We created a card game that was, even with the fact that we are more than 200, we created a card game that was engaging. Those are part of the skills that is involved in learning. I pray I'm able to touch everything that I want to touch in this class. So the next one we're talking about is training principles and learning theories. Now, our brain is divided into 2 parts, the left and the right. Our left side is more of judgment, logic, linear, systematic, and verbal, while the right side is about creativity, intuition. Musicians, artists, they are more of right brain, playfulness, and visual perception. Both sides must be used. The left side, mathematicians, calculations, theory, logic, science, both must be applied, and there's a particular training that or exercise that you can do to engage your true brains. Me, myself, before I do any physical training, the exercise that I do for my voice, most times voice, we talk about voice here. There are trainings that I do to deliberately tune my voice. For example, if you want to train people, and depending on the kind of people you are training and the audience that you have, but the best practice, you can see that my voice is coming down now. How am I able to make sure that my voice is now calm while I'm still communicating to you? How have I been able to transform from talking this way and letting you understand that there is pitch and tone and frequency in training, and how I'm able to bring it down to this level, but still be able to engage? This calmness now is about power. Depending on the kind of training that you are having, you can create power in your training. Now, there are 3 levels in our abdomen: the lower abdomen, the middle abdomen, and the upper abdomen. if you want to talk like this, you ensure that your air is coming from your throat or from your upper chest. If you want to talk like this, like the way I'm talking now, I'm not acting now, I'm talking and I'm still educating us. Your words must come from the lower stomach, which is the best way to train people, especially if they are professionals and they are experts and they want to listen to you. By the time you start talking like this other way, I'm very sure that you can see the difference in the tone. By the time you start talking like this, sometimes it looks like you are shouting. But by the time you talk from your stomach, it's of more frequency. But most times, because of the kind of training that you might have, you might want to maintain equilibrium, just be at the center. Both your right side of your brain and your left side of your brain must be used systematically. And there are exercises for this. There are ways that you engage. For example, there's one training that you do that you raise your knee, you touch your right knee with your left hand, you touch your left knee with your right hand, but you raise it. You raise your left hand. I don't want to show it. You can you can go on YouTube, just type exercises for brain. You stand up, you raise your right hand, you raise your left leg, you raise your left leg and use your right hand to touch it. Then you raise your left leg, use your right hand to touch it. You do it in order to engage both sides of the brain before you start your class, and also your auditory exercises and some other body exercises to engage your training. How do people learn? People learn visually by what they see. That is why image is very important in training. But there are some kind of training that you can't be able to get a particular kind of visual to explain it. That is why in those areas where there are no visuals, your explanation must be more. Because visual makes learning easier. Learn through the hearing. Ordinary people hear, but there are people that don't hear, like the deaf, but they also learn, but they learn through other means. So generally, we have visual, auditory, learning through touching, like the blind people, then learning through doing or teaching, practical, which is the best. Find presentations, diagrams, and illustration, which is the visual part. Pictures. If you look at my slide, you'll see that my slide has white background. Those are some of the tricks. White background is the best. Let me be straightforward with you. White background is the best. How you position your words also matter. We are still going to talk about PowerPoint presentation. I don't know if it's going to be one of those things that we'll do in this in the free training. But how your PowerPoint, I think is there. Some part of this is there. How you put your PowerPoint presentation. If you look at my work from the beginning, you see that the topic at the top is always on red. It's always on red. Uniformity is always on red, while the words are in blue. And each time that there's a word need to put image, I put image, but not compulsory. You can see these are part of how you create your slide. Find it easy to learn through description. Using our presentations, diagrams, make it easy for people to learn. Videos, pictures, metaphors, colors. Often used lists to keep up and organize thought. For example, if I want to train engineers, or I want to train on IT, the kind of, let's say IT, engineering, those that have that aspect of, what's it called, the left brain, there are some kind of colors that you embed and some kind of content that you put in your slide. Often use lists to keep up and organize thoughts. Sometimes you can't know everything. It is not bad, exactly if you are even physical. Virtual training is even easier for virtual training for you to list what you want to say. But physically, it might be difficult. But you can still have a list of some things that you want to chip in into your training. Then, remember face, but forget names. When you want to train, most times we find it difficult to what's it called? To remember people's names. Someone like me, I don't find it easy remembering people's name, but I still place faces very well. So from their face, I will know who I'm referring to, who I'm communicating to. Have well-developed imagination, easily distracted by movement. Those that are visual, those that learn via visual. Someone like me, I've observed that I learn more with what I see. So visual learners are there. They remember faces most of the time. Just like I said myself, they often use lists to keep up and organize thoughts and find it easy to learn through descriptions. When you describe something for them, they picture it as an image. They picture it as an image, and they're able to understand faster. Have well-developed imagination, easily distracted by movement, and are the people that dream a lot. They dream a lot because they are visual learners. 60% of people are visual. Most of us are visual learners anyway. So you need to find yourself. And part of those things that people do, which I don't do, I must be honest, is that before every training, they can, especially if you want to train top people, maybe they are paying you 1 million per delegate. If any organization pay me 1 million per delegate, in fact, I will do everything possible. I will create form for them to fill. Tell me, are you visual or this? So I will know what to apply. I will tailor everything for them. But sometimes, generally, we do not do these things. So we use general approach to training. Whether you are visual or auditory learner, you will still be able to gain from the training session. Now, auditory learners, we have auditory learners too. Because of time, we have tactile learners too. They do best when they take note either during a lecture or when reading something new or difficult. I had a friend then. This guy is kind of visual learning. He's so sharp that if he looks at a book, everything that is written there it is captured in his brain. Like visual learner to the core. Read one. That is his name. For those that have attended our safety data analysis class, he's the one that used to take our deep Excel class because he's an expert in Excel. And for those that have gone to take the course online, if you take that course online, the person that took the Excel is really one. That guy is a visual learner. If they explain anything in class, he might just one or two things, but he has captured it. He has looked at it, and everything is in his brain. There are people like that. We have tactile learners, and we have practical learners, those that learn by doing. That is why these kind of people, you must use simulation for them. You must explain for them. You must do scenario-based for them. They think deep. So you must learn this kind of people. Now, how do people grab the most? Lecture is 5%, by 5%. All this lecture is 5%. Reading by themselves, 10%. Retention. Audio visual, 20%. But the best of them, because of time, is by teaching others. So no matter what you learn, let your student know that no matter what they learn, the best way for them to know better is not even by doing. People believe that we learn by doing. Yes, you learn by doing, but you learn more by teaching others. You learn more by teaching others. So that comes down to me, because some people will be saying, oh, no wonder Wale used to do videos. No wonder Wale used to do training videos, enlightenment sections, doing videos on various subjects. It's because I also want to learn more. So when you teach people, you learn more. So when you train people, let them understand that don't wait. I tell my students, don't wait till you have audit before you, if I train them on ISO classes, don't wait till you have audit sessions. Also find a way to teach people about auditing. You will learn by teaching people. Please put it down. Tell your students that whatever you have taught them in class, they should know, because most of the time, Mr. Wali, please, I need audit sessions so that I can practically know, I can know these things, so that I can be able to know them more. No, yes, it's good, but don't wait till then. You will learn more by teaching others. That is why you must learn the train the trainer course. You must take the course. Simply put, you become an expert by doing and by teaching others. Knowing is one thing, that is novice. Knowing how to do something is another stage. Showing people how, sometimes you can know how to do this. Some people know how to use mouth to drive trailer, to drive truck. But when it comes to driving, it becomes theoretical. Some weeks ago, my wife used my car to hit someone else's car in the compound because when she wanted to park. And this same my wife, when I'm driving, she's always like, I don't know how to drive. She knows how to use mouth to park. When I was young, I told my dad to use reverse to park. Now, sorry for that. So now, when it's not time for her to now park, she used my car to hit somebody else's car. Sorry, she's with me here, so she wants to raise the concern. You know women now. So now what I'm saying is that you learn not only by knowing, by showing, by doing, but also by teaching others. That's the best way to learn. And what I just did now is part of how to engage people, because people might be tired of my talk, but I've brought in something to drive your engagement, to make you smile. Even though I'm not seeing your face, I know you have already smiled from what just happened now. It's part of continuous engagement. What are the do's? Like I said, your posture matters. Don't just stand like you are broken. Don't stand like your spinal cord is not working. Some people will stand in a particular spot for 30 minutes. Their leg will, you know, when your leg right see, you know, all those people that will stand, that their leg will right see, and you just stand there and be talking, say you are training. No. Smile at all times. Look at people's face when you are training them. Ensure you have eye contact, but eye contact is relative. Some people don't like you looking at them too much. When you see someone looking at you, look at them for a few seconds. If the eye contact continues, it maybe the person is comfortable with it, but don't dwell too much. Sit forward. If seated, if you are sitting and you are doing training by sitting, some people they are good trainers, but they can't stand for long. Maybe they are old, or maybe their body mass index cannot allow them to stand for so long, and they sit. Sitting is fine, but when you sit forward. Don't sit, relax. And you are training people, because people will also feel subconsciously, they feel relaxed. It's just like when people yawn, then they yawn with you subconsciously. When you relax, they also feel relaxed. Sit forward. Open your palms when you're training people. And arms outspread with open. Explain your word. Even though I'm in virtual session now, even though you are not seeing me, since morning I've been using my hands to express myself, because it's part of what makes learning beautiful. Don't act it. Don't become an actor because you want to train. No. Engage people with passion. That drives your engagement. Have passion. Know that you want to add value to people's life. Then what are the don'ts? Don't cross your arm. Don't fold your arms. Don't frown, even if you are going through a lot. Smile. Not that you start laughing in class and say, because Wali said smile, you know, don't become a mad person in class. So no, that's what I'm saying, you know. I didn't say that, oh, rara, oh. That's what I'm saying, you know. What I'm saying is that ensure that you are not bringing a very frowning face. Before you do a training session, if you are the guy that they tell you that your face is always that you're always frowning your face. Look at the mirror and learn how you smile. I learned this. I practically, because they used to tell me that I'm always frowning my face outside. I practically go through the mirror to see myself, to know when I smile. There were times that I don't know how to smile on camera, but now I know how to smile. I learned it. You learn these things. Don't look away, and don't point at people like you are talking to unless you are, even if you are training students, if you are training your children, don't point fingers at them. You, I'm talking to you. No, don't do that. Appear tense, don't appear tense, don't appear anxious. Calm yourself, display professionalism. Display that you are in control. Display that, let them know that you are in control of the class. That's why your dressing must speak for you. That confidence must be there. There are times that I took the wrong outfit. Not true, no, I forgot an outfit at home for a training. I had to send someone to go and help me to bring that outfit, because for the next day, I had to, because that outfit is what I've planned because of the kind of people I want to train. There are times that you want to go for a training, you must appear in jeans and shirts, tuck in, properly dressed. There are times that you need to put on suit and tie. There are times that you need to put on attire. Sometimes, for example, if you want to go and train Hausas, for example, and this is not to diminish to speak low, because it's not actually low. Most times they dress in their attire. Most times they wear their danshiki, what they call it, their long guinea, well ironed. You too want to go and train them. Most of our training trainers are Hausas, dress in their appearance. Their appearance matters. You want to go and train bankers. Most times they wear tie and shirt. Dress in their appearance. Dress corporate. You want to go and train engineers. Most times they wear jeans. It is important. Your appearance matters. Don't put your hands in pockets. Don't say because you are confident now, you now put your hands in pockets. And or you now put your hands at your back. Or you start showing pencil. Active listening is a very important part of training. You must learn active listening. You must learn active listening. You must be ready to listen. Sometimes delegates will frustrate you. Delegates will frustrate, they will frustrate you. You are anxious to answer, you are anxious to reply. It happens to me too. Even at this point, it still happens to me. You are anxious to reply because you're already boiling. Let me look at those that are in class before I give an example, because our last what's it called? Our last advanced investigation class, there was something that I experienced. Let me see if my guy is not in class before I use that. He's in class, so I will not talk. He's in class, I will not talk. Now, our last class, there were kind of engagements, and I really loved the class because practical example was used based on what was being experienced in that particular industry. And at the point, I was already getting uncomfortable. But at the end of the day, there are ways that I deliberately calm down to listen to everything he wants to say. He's in class now, he's with us. So I won't talk to this. Sir, no comment, oh, because I've seen a particular comment. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Confidence. Now, active listening. You need to learn how to listen. It is normal to have people, because you have people that will know more than you in some subjects. So you must listen, and when you want to answer, like I said, start from the basics and bring it up. It's not about hearing. Hearing is the part, is the first part and consistent of the perception of sound. Listening can be one of our most powerful communication tools. Be sure to ensure you are listening to you when they ask questions. But most times, another thing is that sometimes information gets diluted. Like a delegate wants to ask a question, they might first paint a scenario for you, first start telling you a lot of things before they now go to that question. You need to learn how to engage them. How do you do that? These are powerful information. I don't know if it's part of what I'm going to talk about later. I don't know if it's going to be part of what I'm going to do later. You don't cut them short. Because when you cut them short, you have created a very wrong perception. You have disencouraged them. They might not be happy. You don't cut them short. There are ways you go about it. Let's move on, please. Review what they have learned, asking them one thing have you learned after each class, each day, or the beginning of the next day. Ask them, what is the one thing that you remember? Ensure that you recall some of the things that you've done. Most times I go as far as going back from the beginning of the slide of the first class, they're just moving through before I enter the next class. I remember our process safety. I think Mr. Toyo is here. I don't know if Mr. Toyo is here. Our process safety class. When I was told to do a review before the exam, and my review was, I spent like 2 hours, 1 hour plus doing review. I started from beginning to the end again. If there is time for that, you do that, because how you end it matter more. I don't know, maybe it's part of what I'm going to talk about today. How you end your class matters more than how you start. You must start on a high note, but when you're ending, you end on a higher note. Higher note. The way you end your class must be powerful. Let's go on, please. Accelerated learning. Research shows that adults learn the most effectively when all their senses are involved, especially when they see. They also learn more effectively when they are relaxed. That's why you must create a relaxing environment for adults. Don't build tension. In our class, many of us that are taking our class, we attest to it. 1 hour class, 15 minutes break. 1 hour class, 15 minutes break. Then the next 1 hour, the next one is 30 minutes break. They will continue like that, so that there won't be tension. There will be time to relax. And the environment must be relaxed. Create soft jokes. In between this class now, I've created like 3 or 4 jokes. Everything is not about, no, this, tough, no jokes, nothing. You are not training civilian. You are not training militants. You are not training me. Even later and try, even if they don't laugh, try to put some soft joke, but don't go and crack joke that they'll put inside barracks. I'm not there. Don't say, well, listen, you should crack joke. Then go and crack joke about one top major general. You are not going to crack joke. After the class, they'll say, oh, God, you have done your own class. Now it's time for us to do our own class. And it's in the barracks. Me, I'm not there. I didn't tell you that. It's not Wali. Use human creativity in your presentation to create an environment that encourages people to learn. Ensure that you make learning beautiful, make learning interesting. If possible, during break, play music. And these are part of the things that we are going to incorporate, not for our virtual classes anyway. It may not be music, it can be some other things in which I have not seen it in most of our training centers. I've not seen it, not really music. And I've seen some, but they have it, but they don't engage students in between the classes to make use of it. These are part of what makes learning beautiful. There is a part of softness and there's a part of hardness. The part of the training session must be 100% top notch. They must learn from, you must deliver value. But that doesn't mean that the other part must be put into shambles. Use humor. When people answer questions, you can throw them candy. May not really candy, but appreciate them for answering your question. Remember, in every adult class, there's no wrong answer, even if it's wrong. Let me come again. In adult class, there is no, okay, let me put it this way. In adult class, there is no negative approach to a wrong answer. There can be wrong answers, but how you respond is very, very important. You can use icebreakers. There are a lot of icebreakers that you can use in your training sessions. We will not dwell more on this in our real classes. These are part of what we are going to train us on. What are those things that you can put in between classes? At the beginning of the class or at the end of the class, depending on, exactly for physical classes. What are those ideas you can bring into play to make the training that, see, and this is not to show pride or anything, I've done trainings that I've gotten feedback that, for example, apart from our normal calendar courses, training for companies, a couple of times I'll be giving response like, this is not what they just wrote. Yeah, someone wrote it in the comment section after the class, but this is what is being said to me physically. For the past 11 years that my company has been taking me to training, this is the first time that I will feel like I actually went for training. Some people say for the past 13 years. So how you do your training is very, very important. How you put passion into your training is very, very important. How you build that engagement is very, very important. Engage your audience. Even when they are tired, you can read it in their eyes that they are tired, that they are already getting tired, they are relaxed. Do something. Most of us are city professionals here. Coconut is not very, very common. Thanks to, I think I know it through Mrs. Monica. Thanks to Mrs. Monica, I don't know where it came from, but through her, I knew coconut and I've used it several times and it worked. And some other things that you can use to make learning easier. When they are too tired and they are too tired, introduce games. Use jokes, engage your audience. They are not robots, they are human, they tend to diminish about, especially after that break time. That's why we have it break, because that breaks the learning process. That's what I call break. The learning flow is breaks it. So you must learn that by the time they come back from break, they're already tired, especially afternoon time. The diminishing return is setting in. Creating objectives that are relevant and appeal to your target audience. The way you train technicians is from the way you train managers and directors and supervisors. You must ensure that you put this into perspective. Understanding your audience and their specific needs. What do they want? What is that thing that they want to take home? Some they don't need all the story. Yes, all the story will be there. But not all the story is what they need. If I'm training adults, I'm training people of 60 plus, those that have in class, you see some those that have 3 PhDs, and you are training, and you're like, what are you training them on? What do I need to tell these people? But they want to hear some points with explanation, with experience. They want to share their stories. If you are training adults of that age, 50 plus, they want to share their experience more. They are eager to share their experience than what they want to hear from you. So you learn more from them. Unlike when you are training your young colleagues, when you want to tell them that, yeah, we are in the same level, want to show professionalism. And when you have the mixture of them, you need to balance it. You must understand your audience. Filter the sequence of information. Now, when you want to deliver training, don't start from, that's like your training content is very, very important. But this is general knowledge, and I believe that many people do this. You start from introduction, gradually you move to the top part of the training. You don't start from the middle, then down to the easy part. No, start with general information about what we want to talk about, what we want to train them on. That's where you have your objective. At the end of the day, you should do it. Then you now start from the beginning. Then you focus on key aspects, the main point, especially for the older people. Consider your audience and cut out whatever information is not necessary. Sometimes I would take slides and I'll look at my audience, I'll remove some part of the slides, and this one is not necessary. And I'll add some, okay, this one is very important for them. And some areas will require you to explain more. Averagely, there's this principle of 5 minutes per slide. Like, for example, if you want to know how long you spend in a training, they say use 5 minutes per slide. If you have 20 slides, it means that you should roughly spend 1 hour, 40 minutes. That's the principle. 5 minutes per slide, 1 hour, 40 minutes. And that also depends on the kind of information that you must put on your slide, because your slide again must not be too informative. But meanwhile, there is this wrong this thing that I see everywhere, that they will tell you only put keywords. Yes, you put keywords, but there are times that you need to put some information in your slide to drive engagement. Words may not be too much. And at the same time, if you look at this now, you can see the words, all my slides now, you will see that you can see like here, I only put one word, only one sentence. While here, you can see the image and you can see my words. You can see how I space them, how I put them into bullet points. These are engagement strategies. These are ways to build your slides. Take off information that are not relevant, that are irrelevant. Select specific details that are pertinent to comprehension and compliance. Like I said, beginning with an overview, write the key element, the key objective. How do you ensure flow? There's what we call flow. There's what we call the flow concept. I want you to write flow concept in the chat room. If you are in this class, you are 48 now, excluding me. I want you to write flow in the classroom. Thank you for the feedback. I'm also enjoying myself in this class. I want you to write flow in this classroom. Write flow. Only 2 persons have written flow. There's what we call flow. You must learn how to flow in your class. I've been in a situation whereby a previous slide and my next slide are not correlating, and I find a way to flow to ensure that they don't. It flows. Your slide must flow with themselves. There must be smooth ride all through your slides. It must flow. You must ensure that the sequence of information is gradual, and the next slide relates to the other. If it doesn't relate, ensure that you find a way to connect them together. Ensure that you find a way to connect them together. I've been in a situation whereby, apart from what I'm just saying, I just remember this now. I've been in a situation whereby, or you can be in a situation whereby you want to talk about, let's say, environment. Now, I want to talk about environment. The way you explain the environment, the issue of environment to the market women, is that from the way you explain the principle of environment to in process safety. Is that from the way you address the issue of environment in ESG, sustainability courses. Is that from the way you explain environment in health and safety. Is that from the way you explain environment to, let's say, operators, because there are different concepts of the same environment across board. But there must be flow. There must be a general understanding, especially when you have to train this mixture of people. The key, for example, this is about this is how to ensure that you have an overview. Ensure an overview of your information that you want to pass across. Another one is process flow research. This is an example. You want to explain a particular concept about process flow. You can use this approach to explain to your class, create a kind of a chart to build engagement, to ensure flow. What is another way to pass information? When you are training, look at it like you are marketing yourself, or you're advertising yourself? Because actually in the real sense, you're actually doing that. Because the only way you can actually tell people that you can train is when you show the evidence of training live in training. When you are training people, train them that you like you're advertising yourself. They call you, please, sir, we will need a 1 hour. Like now, I've gotten, I don't know how to even split myself. I've gotten more than enough invitation for World OSH Day, World Safety Day, April 28th. Sir, we will need you to do 1 hour. We need you to do 2 hours. And I'm like, waiting happen. Well, leaves only one. So, but if you know that you'll be available, and I think that's by the way, if you know that you'll be available on the 28th, and you can deliver powerful speech, powerful topics, please let me know. You can come to my DM. I can recommend if you'll be available. April 28th. April 28th should be a day for cash money for safety professionals, because companies should always call us. So if you know you'll be available on April 28th, when I have people, I think I can have a list, and when I have people that call me, I'll just refer them, and you can discuss what you want to. You can do it for free if you want. Some I do it for free, some they pay me. But let's go back to the class. When you are training, you think advertising. Train people like you're advertising yourself. Like you want them to buy something, you want them to buy what you are saying. Think training, think advertisement. Use simple imagery. Using simple imagery is key. Look at this now. This is a kind of explanation. This image illustrates a meaning. Well, when you're looking at this advert, it means that letting kids play with Lego give rise to future talent. That is the meaning. Like if they play with these things, we play with these things as kids, it creates the future that they want. This is part of how you make your slides, using simple image to represent what you want to do. I remember one of my delegates, very sensitive delegate. I used to use a picture of Untrain the Trainer when we talk about, I think I've forgotten that part. So in that picture, there's a cat under the chair. I've never observed that cat before in my life. I put that image there. The image is people sitting around the table. Someone is standing, showing something on the board. Then there was a cat under the table. The person now asked me, Mr. Waliu, I think it's Mr. Tuoyo, was now asking me that, what is that cat doing there? Does it have a meaning? I was dumbfounded because I've never thought of it before. So your image should have a meaning on your slides. Don't just put any kind of image for putting sake. Look at this kind of slide. Too many information to absorb. Too many information. It makes it rowdy. People don't know where to look out for. They don't know what to pick. Look at this too. Yes, this is good to an extent, but the problem is that your students, their brain will become confused. Their brain will become confused. They don't know which one to pick. They don't know which information to digest, because there are so many things unless you start directing them. Too many information. Nobody tells you that everything must be in a slide. No. Nobody tells you that everything must be. No, sometimes we trainers, because this is what I also experienced, we are scared of losing information. We want to pass every information possible. And we are scared that if we do not do this, if we don't put on the slide, we might forget. So we want to put everything on the slide for us people to communicate. But nobody tells us that everything must be on a single slide. In fact, even if you want to put on a slide, you can use transition. You can use transition. Okay, you click, the first one shows, like this one now, you click, the deforestation shows. Then you click again, 1 to 2 acre rainforests are cleared every minute. Then you click again, then they drop before they become full. Don't just make everything together on a slide at once. It can create confusion in the brain, and your student will not know which one to grab at any point in time. Ensure flow. Flow is very, very important. Again, humor. Don't be afraid to apply humor. Don't be afraid to crack jokes in class. I do it a lot. Especially my physical class. Sometimes it will look like it's like I'm becoming a comedian rather than becoming a teacher now. Let's look at death by PowerPoint. This I'm not going to do this in this free class, but I'm going to do it. I think it's a general concept, but people miss it. PowerPoint is not a teaching technique. It's a visual aid to aid learning. Don't make it look like once you see people, please, sir, your PowerPoint. This one, before you ask me, I won't give you, because this is the first slide. Because this is the first slide. This is the first slide is like 1/3, even more than 1/3 of the whole slides, which is like a full day, even though I did explain in details, but this is 1/3 of the whole slides for our trainer course. 1/3 or 1/4 anyway. So don't ask me for my slide, I beg. But you can take screenshots, you can do whatever you want, but our material for this one, mba. No, it's a visual aid that can be used to enhance learning. You have like flip charts, you have overhead, you have handout. Your PowerPoint, no matter what, those that ask for PowerPoint, will not aid learning, will not improve learning. It's just a way that the instructor uses the PowerPoint to encourage learning. So please, don't mistake your PowerPoint as your main teaching technique. Your PowerPoint is just to aid. Your training is actually what we explain, what you craft out of the PowerPoint from the word PowerPoint. Point, powerful points. Be it as it may, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't put some explanation when needed. Nobody tells you that. Some people, they will put so many words in one slide, and I'm like, you want to sell this slide? The last time I checked, I don't think there's a limitation to the number of slides that you can create, and nobody will penalize you for having too much slides. Look at my slide. Look at how my slide has been all this while. It is a visual aid, not a teaching technique. They're what we call the 5 words cross, 5 bullet down. If you want to have bullets, you can have more bullets, but ensure that your bullet points are not too much. Average of 5 bullets is fine. If you want to have more information, you can separate them on different slides. 5 words across. Don't put too much words. Like I said, 5 minutes per slide. So you can use if you want to have a 1 hour presentation now, you can decide your 1 hour. 1 hour is 60 minutes. 60 minutes, that is 12 slides. You can make it 15 slides. Ensure there's some slide that you spend less time. There's some slide that you spend more time. That's just the principle. Do not just read from the slide. Some people will just be reading from the slide word for word. I've been in classes like that. Even when you read from the slide, explain what is in there. We believe that you should have ownership of your slides. People steal slides. That's how most times they read. I've seen someone that accused me. Imagine, I wanted to engage this person for a lead auditor course, because then I was busy. I was like, okay, those that have gone through our process of engaging trainers, pardon me again, because it was very tough. It was a very tough process, because we always want to train and deliver value. So this person, I said, okay, let me see your slide that you have been using. Then the person was like, for confidentiality purpose, I said, let me see your slide. Then he showed me the slides. He did, what did he do? Okay, he showed me the slide. And after going through the slides, I attend the trainer, our lead auditor courses. I think averagely it's a 5 days class. And averagely, I think 280, 300 slides. I think 300 slides averagely. 300 slides averagely. Full content, fully. Those I've taken our courses on auditor courses, you know what I'm talking about. Full complete class. Then this man came with 64 or 70 slides for ISO lead auditor. I was like, yeah, it's not about the slide that what I want to do. I said, what do you want to deliver? Your slide is a reflection of what you know. You can't do more than what's on your slide. Then I kept quiet. I said something, but I kept quiet. Then this man wanted to blackmail me that I collected the slide. Then I'm now saying that I'm not using him again. That is going to if you see me use my slide for my training, that I want to use the slide for my. I said I've been doing this training for years before I even come to your slide. And moreover, if you see my slide pattern, look at how my slide pattern is. This is how all our slides is. Anywhere you see a slide that is like this, it's from us. It's from nowhere. I can beat my chest on that, because we even pay people to help us deliver to help us after I create training content, after I create our slides. Sometimes I spend 3 days, I spend 1 week, I spend 2 weeks for slides before for advanced process management. weeks to develop slide. Then I'll now send it to read one that I told you about, because it's good in anything like that. They help us to tune it to something like this. So this person had my slides inside his training material, but I didn't talk. I now did a video record, and I told him that, sir, now look at what I'm doing now. I'm telling you a story. The reason I'm telling you a story is because I believe that you might have been getting tired. Then I'm using story to re-energize you now. We'll continue with the class. These are part of the practical things you should learn from this class. So now I told him that, sir, because I kept quiet, and I showed him evidence that, look at this slide, this slide, this slide. It's our slide. Look at our logo there. Even when you remove our logo, because our logo is on, we use master, there's what we call slide master. We embed it, but you can actually remove it if you want to remove it. But some people don't know how to remove logos. Look at our logo. These are our slides. But you included our slide in your slide. But I kept quiet, and you want to blackmail me for stealing my own slide again. That was how the story left, and he was now apologizing, blah, 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 blah. So what am I saying here? Own content. Number one, you can't have everything from your head. You will get people's slides. It's normal to, you have slides. If you go online, most of our training, you do research, bring materials together, create your own slide. Even when you take slide, domesticate it, review it, put it in your own words, add to it, add knowledge. There's nothing new again in this world. Don't just pick people's slide and just use this verbatim. Modify it, not modify it to alter, maybe just to change the way, like you go and steal a white car, you now paint it black. No, that's not what I'm saying. The training content, use it to develop your own training. Use from it, extract from it, add, minus, remove from it. Then make it your own. With that, you will not just be reading from your slide, because you will take ownership of it. Are we together? Are you together in this class? Type yes in the chat room. We are halfway done, and we only have like 30 minutes left. If you are together in this class, please type yes in the chat room. If you are following me, if you are flowing with this class, type yes in the chat room. Let me know that we are engaging ourselves in this class. Mr. Okafor, you want to ask question?
No, I want to buttress a point. Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Okay. Yes, quickly.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you again, Mr. Wali. So, your last comments about the story you told made me reflect about something. I think a little above a year ago, you and I worked on something together. I think there was one of our series on Sundays we did on behavioral-based safety. And yes. I remember when I sent the slide, the first thing you asked was, this slide is small. Are you sure this will be enough for the whole 1 hour and all that? Right? Mm-hmm. And I was able to convince you that you shouldn't worry, that I was going to deliver, and the class was going, and thank God it went well. But what I'm trying to bring out here is that I've known you to be someone that is very detailed, someone that is very client-oriented, delegate-oriented, because you want to give them the value for their money, value beyond their money. So I feel this is a good point to note this. Thank you. And
all right, thank you very much, Mr. Okafor. Thank you so much. Now let's move on. The 5 common errors. Typing out everything you want to say in a sentence, so that when you speak, you are just reading the sentence and your audience will remember. Nothing will they remember, just because you want to remember everything that you want to say. You want to remember everything. You want to remember. You not write out everything on the slide. No, now write keywords. Placing a copy of a document up on the screen and reading it off. Having your text to be too small without spacing. Now, look at my text here. My text here are small, but I want to ask, are they clear enough for you to read? There must be spacing. You see some people, they don't know how to space. Everything will be mumbled up together. You must learn how to create spacing on your slides. Learn how to create spacing on your slides. Using too many bullet points on a single slide. Do you want to shoot us? Are they real bullets? Assuming you always have to make a slideshow presentation. Now look at this principle. There's this principle that tells you where to position your words. Because of time, I will not go into details. Look at this. Just divide your slide, each slide into 9 like this, 3 by 3. You see, those points are where people get attracted the most. That is where your presentation stands out. If you want to have image, those are the parts that you should have image. Don't put image at the center. Don't put image at the right corner or left corner or lower corner or left corner. There are angles that your PowerPoint presentation, that your keywords, your images should stay to make it interesting, to make it engaging. These are principles that you might have not heard before. Look at this. Can you see? Can you see what I'm talking about? You can see where the main point is. Your presentation must stand out. The main point that you want to put must be at those points, either on this point that are here, 1, 2, 3, 4, just divide into 4. You want to put an image. Your image must stand along those sides on your PowerPoint. These are what our Full Train the Trainer course is going to tell you, is going to train you about, among other things. Speak clearly and loudly enough for everyone to hear. Don't allow people to start telling you that they can't hear you. Speak clearly. Speaking clear doesn't mean that you should start forming phonetics. Speak your mother tongue well, but ensure you communicate well. Don't say because you have white people in your class, just saying, so my class is all about how you want to ensure behavioral-based safety using the heart and mind approach. You don't need to, they'll be laughing at you that this man, you know, it's not your language. Speak well. I've had Rwandans, would I call them Rwandans? I don't know what we call them. Rwanda, Uganda, Ghanaians, even from Spain and some other parts, attend our classes, and because of that, we didn't say we want to form phonetics. And they appreciate you with the way you speak. We have delegates from those that are even taking our online learning platform and our TechWatch Academy that take our learning platform from different parts of the country, and they appreciate it even though it is recorded in our mother tongue. So it's not about forming phonetics. Speak clearly and loudly. Pause between punctuation marks. When you have to pause. Learn the name of each participant as quick as. If you can do that, do that. If you can't learn it, you can give them short forms to drive engagement. And most times in physical classes, what the standard practice is, they will have something to indicate their names. Yes, that reminds me. That reminds me, I must include that. We have a training coming. Sorry, I have a training coming up. Names card. Okay, thank you. So let's go on. Learn the name of each participant. If you don't do that, have something to put in front of them, then put their names there so that you can call them. Listen intentionally, and one way to learn their name very fast, is to regularly use them as examples. If you want to use example, maybe you want to talk about a scenario, use those that are in your class as examples. It also drives engagement. If I want to talk, for example, if I want to talk about how the organization can build a culture, can create a culture of safety in the workplace, I use example of Mr. A and Mr. B not having Mr. A's car getting spoiled. They work in the workplace, listen to music. I use examples and I use them as examples, and they laugh it out. As I go, no, me, I have my car. For example, now I can say, okay, let's imagine Mr. Tuoyo and Mr. Aderojo. They are going somewhere, and Mr. Aderojo's car got spoiled. Mr. Aderojo in the class, no, my own car is not got spoiled. It's Mr. Tuoyo's car that will get spoiled in Jesus' name. So start making jokes. This also helps to keep the engagement flowing. Listen intentionally to comment and opinions and circulate around the room. Don't stay in one place. Move. In fact, when you move, you get less tired. Less tired than when you stay at the point. Don't use monotone. Go up, go down. Flow. Don't use monotone. Don't just use one tone to start talking. There are times that you go up, you go down. Use your pitch, high pitch, low pitch. Don't just start talking like you are talking to any other person because you don't understand what you are saying. No, don't talk like that. Talk, engage. Use passion, demonstrate what you are talking about. When you are tired, you have the right to rest. Nobody said that you must stand. But when you rest or you sit, don't relax. Move, pull yourself forward in class. Are we together? Let's move on because of time. This is 6:30. I think I will meet up with the time. When writing on flip chart, use no more than 7 lines. We are using flip chart. You know this what is flip chart that look like big jotter. Don't write too much. Don't write more than 7 lines. Consider the time of and day and how long you have got for your talk. Know how long you have to presentation. If you give me 100 slides, and you want me to talk about it for 1 hour, I will know how to flow about it. There are times that some slides I will emphasize and some slides I will move fast. But I must ensure that the end goal must be achieved, which is to drive knowledge and understanding. Time of the day also matter. You see some people, they will tell you, sir, Mr. Wali, are there not evening classes? I will like, how you be talking about evening classes? Subconsciously, as human beings, we have this cognitive bias. Evening is meant for relaxation. Some people, you've got to work all day, and you now expect that evening time, when we start the class. How possible? Even our weekend classes, we still think about it, but it is better than evening classes. Most people find that if they practice in their head, they actually talk, the actual talk will take about 25% longer. Timing is very important. Ensure that you manage your time very well and your time is very effective. There are 5 main terms used for defining focal qualities. We may not go deep into it. The volume of your speech, know your room, know your environment. Sometimes you can be in an enclosed environment, maybe just a small space, and you can be in a hall and there will be no microphone. Even if there's microphone, you need to ensure that you manage your volume. Your tone of conversation must be under. That's why you must do these tests. Look at the camera. No, not the camera. The camera is for visual. For you before you start your class, go to the mirror. If they have a bathroom, go to their bathroom. Look at the mirror. Look at yourself. Smile and say, "Man, you're ready to go." Look at yourself. Feel confidence in yourself. Before, I used to, for those that know, I used to dye my lower part of my beard. Before I even go into that, yes, I leave my beard for religious purposes because according to my faith, it is what we call sunnah. It's the sunnah of the prophet to leave your beards based on our own teaching. But also, I used it as a means to also create that boldness, that bold look. I remember that I went for a training. Then when we were talking, I mentioned my age. Now these are elderly people of 40 plus, 50, not 40, like a 50 plus. And I told them my age, and they told me never to mention my age to anybody again. That I should not mention it in class again because it was a high class. It was a class of directors. It was a class of directors. And how you this boy? You this boy to come, you will come in to train us, and you are even mentioning your age to us. You are using you are telling us your age. Never mention it again. Why am I saying this? My appearance, the way I decided to deliberately leave my beard, the kind of glasses I wear, and how I dress. Sometimes when I go to some events, I wear baggy because I want to appear in a particular way. So when you are training some kind of people, you must appear in a particular way. We've talked about appearance before. Now, tone. Your tone is very, very important. The pitch that you use, your pace of communication, and the color. Someone is asking, does voice have color? Now, when we talk about color is in different sense. For example, when you're talking about energetic voices, passionate voices, we are talking about warm colors like red, orange. You're talking about yellow. All this represents an energy, using energy in your conversation. And that can also reflect in your kind of slide that you create. Now, color also means when you're talking about cool colors, for example, We're talking about calmness. We're talking about green. We're talking about purple. So we're talking about color. We are telling you, if you say that we want your voice to be red, it means energetic. If you want your voice to be blue, you mean to be calm and cool. If you want your voice to be, when you have dark voices, it's not dark in the sense of black. It means it must be deep voice. When you say high-pitched voices, it means bright. So when you see this color, don't mean that we are meaning it literally. No, because someone is asking that question in the class. But we are talking about it metaphorically. Your voice must, most times, be that kind of a deep voice. Even if you don't have, maybe your kind of voice doesn't have that. For example, you're a feminine, for example, feminine, and you have a feminine voice, doesn't mean that must be too light. In this class, we're talking about, no, this is not about gender, this is not about feminism abuse or anything. You need to learn how to maintain a voice that will create engagement, that will drive conversation, that will pull attention. You must create a balance as a trainer. And if your voice is too deep, like you are a newscaster, this class, no, you need to raise it a bit. You need to be in between. You must learn it. How do you do it? Record yourself. Take a record of your voice. Many of us don't know how you speak. Do it today. I give you that assignment. You'll be surprised to learn how you speak. The first time I did my first video, and I had the way I was speaking. I was just laughing at myself. Listen to your voice. As you are speaking now, you can listen to your voice. As I'm listening to my voice now. But you can listen to your voice when you record it. Record your voice and listen to it. Listen to your voice while at home, driving or walking. Listen to how you speak. Get an opinion from trust. You can send it to people, sir. What do you say about this, my voice? Apart from the tone, even the flow of your conversation also matters. Like we say, don't use monotone. Apart from that, how you speak. Many times people use M. I've seen people training where people use M. I'm a stammerer as I am. I stammer a lot, but it has reduced over time deliberately. And are part of what you see, signatures of those that stammer. But apart from M, you see people saying something like, I mean, you see, you know. There are some other things that they use, words that you continuously repeat. You must know, you must be deliberate about it. If you want to be a good learner, you must be able to fish out those words and adjust yourself. Be deliberate about it. When you see yourself using a particular word, oftentimes when you are lost in a shuffle, because it happens that you'll be in class and you'll be lost. That's another point, that's another thing entirely now, another thing to talk about. When you are lost in class, how do you come back? I've been lost in class several times that my delegate, you don't know that I've been lost. I might be saying something else, and I want to come back. That's the concept of flow, and that's a part of what you should know. Get an opinion from trusted confidant. Practice articulation. Pause to let information sink in and to emphasize punctuation. Now, ensure that when you have key information that you want them to learn, ensure that you are able to use your voice to pass that information. For example, you yourself, you want to talk about something. Ensure that the information that you want to pass across, it's in you already. And if possible, you might want to take voice lessons. People take voice lessons to actually master their voice and to get the best out of their voice. You can listen to yourself, like I said, and moderate your voice at all times. Body language in class, very important. Your eye contact is very, very important. Facial expression is very, very important. Gestures is very, very important. Postures, body orientation is very, very important. Proximity, how do you get close to your delegate? Don't be too far. You must walk around and ensure that you maintain a good voice at all times. Summary of an effective trainer. Let's go. Engaging your audience. Learn how to engage your audience very well. Introduce new ideas, new concepts to them. Ideas can come while in training. Not everything that you must only limit to what is on your slide. Ideas can come all through when you are doing the training. Introduce it in. Like this is our last class that we did on advanced incident investigation. The idea before was to just have a presentation, but an idea came that, okay, let us actually have 2 groups and let us do the Flixborough disaster and come up with reports. Now, in our physical classes that we are going to have for one of our clients, we are going to print out a 3D hard cover of reports, of a report template, and put them into groups instead of individually setting report. We will do such things, and some other things that we also include to drive engagement. Thanks to Abanom that made me that introduced Slido to me. I learned Slido through him. Slido is another way to engage your delegates. Very soon we'll start using the same Slido to also do. I won't mention it now, but it's going to be very, very interesting. I know that everybody will be interested. We are going to start a particular program that we are going to use to also drive learning and build competence and ensure that people build their competence. Very soon, we are going to introduce it from Enlightenment Sessions with Aliola, sponsored by Cordal Safety. So introduce new ideas at all times. Present your materials. Confirm that they understand what you are saying. Ask them, sir, do you understand this? Especially anywhere you felt like they look dumb, like they don't know what they are saying. Ask them, do you understand? If they don't understand, come again. Even if they don't ask you, but you feel like this thing was not explained well, come again, explain again. Transition, flow from one point to another. Ensure that they don't get lost. There must be connection between your slides. Then close program on a very positive note, energetic note. Close your program with the intention that I want them to clap for me at the end of this class. I want them to, as I'm closing this class, I want to drive their energy. I want to increase their frequency level that has gone down. I want to increase it and end the class on a very high note, because that will also speak at the end of the day. In fact, you will speak more. Evaluate your program and see how well you have done and improve on your training. How do you engage? Welcoming them, tell them to tell you their names, like what we do in our own class. Your name, your hobby, blah, blah, blah. This is generic. Introduce yourself, class schedules, have your schedules, facilities, material that you want to use, main topics that you want to talk about. You can put it in the whiteboard, the main topics. Then the guidelines. Ensure that tell them that you have two-way communication. Ensure that they are actively participating, respect others, ask questions, avoid outside distractions. Just tell them these rules at the beginning of the class. How do you introduce new ideas? You talk about engage audience. We might not talk about everything. The next one is introducing new ideas. Brief description. What is the idea about? Lesson topic or objective, business concept slides. The framework. Point of reference. Is there a point of reference or statement or expectations? What is changing? What is the same? Whatever idea you are bringing, especially if you are training for the purpose of facilitation, that you are just facilitating a particular brainstorming session, there might be new ideas. All this must be embedded into the learning process. What people want to know, especially for beginners, they want you to prepare them. That is the first place. To prepare them for what they want to learn. Tell them what they want to know. Telling is one thing. You say people learn by what they learn. Then showing them. Then letting him do it. Then helping him. Then the most important thing, teaching others. That is the best learning process. You learn more by teaching others. After you have done it, you want them to also teach others about it. How do you confirm that they understand what you have trained them? In between, you can ask questions. You can give exercises. And you can revisit and link ideas. You can link ideas together, revisit what they have said, and come up together with good conclusion and confirmation of understanding. Transition to new topic. Like I said, you must ensure that there is flow in your class. Flow. Don't just let people get lost in the class. Build that transition from one slide, from one topic to another. Provide relationship between concepts to reinforce understanding and provide clarity between non-related topics. When you have topics that are unrelated, ensure that there's clarity and you are able to link them together. There will be a way to link them together. That's why you must always plan for your course. Not just pick slide and start going to train people. Transition to end the course. Set the stage for wrap-up activities and next step. Ensure that you wrap up your training with high notes. Ensure that you wrap up your training with high notes. Ensure, it is very, very important that you wrap up your training with high notes. Build that engagement. Your ending part, in summary, must be energetic. Let's look at Engineer Jamiu, for example. If Engineer Jamiu is doing its training, if Engineer Jamiu gets to the end, where he wants to end it, go and look at all his engaging sections. You will flow through. You will get to that frequency and you will be left in high notes. That is engagement. Then you have your closing program, the summary of the class, review objective, review key processes, talk about what you have learned so far, ask questions, address any outstanding items, remind them where, if they need any help, and answer any last-minute questions and get feedback from them. You need to get feedback as a trainer. Now, good feedback are very good, but the other way around, not too good feedback are better because it helps you get better at what you do. Now, for example, delegates used to complain that, like one of the people that I got in one of the class, they said that that they enjoyed the training session, but the only problem is that I didn't give them slides. And the reason why I didn't give them slides showed in the other classes. When you give them exam, instead of brainstorming, thinking about answers, they go to the material and they copy and paste, which is not good enough because it's online class. So it is better for you to pick right notes and use the notes to answer questions. It helps you to get better. So when we had this feedback, we had to balance it. It helps on their own side, but on our own side, we have our own reasons too. So feedback can come in various forms. Come and have feedback on, okay, we need practical sessions. We need this, we need that. This will be added. It will help you to improve because you can't be the best. You can only get better you can only get better. You can't be at your best. When you say you're at your best, it means that you can't get better. You can be at your best at a point in time, but be ready to get better at every other point in time. Rate the overall course, rate the training material, rate the confidence in completing the tasks, and gather information and improve future instructions. You can add a good chair. Like I said, there are many things that you can do to engage people. Family, many of us, MTN family field, you can have family field. It's a way to engage. Not that you go and tell them to be doing family field. In your class, you can create something like that to drive engagement. Like if they invite me for webinars, for seminar, maybe for health and safety or whatever, they invite me to come and do 1 hour talk, I take my book along, my mental health book. I give free copies. I sometimes I say, okay, the first 3 we win this we win that. We do this just to drive engagement, to make them participate. We use Slido, and the top 3 winners, we win gifts. This is how to end classes, to drive engagement. And summarize all what has been discussed. So, part of what you will do, this is for you. It is not compulsory. For those that will be taking our classes, our trainer course, is part of what they will do is that they are going to present live on our webinar after the class. They must prepare slides and they must present. Not 5-minute presentation, but they will do normal presentation just like this, and they must be ready because we'll train them on everything that they need to know about Train the Trainer. All that they need to know about Train the Trainer. This is just less than 2 hours class. And I'm very sure that we've all learned enough. We are not through yet. We still have a couple of slides to go. And from that feedback, from the training, you must be able to learn what worked and what needs to be improved on. This is how we're going to end this slide, this training today. Don't be scared. They are not going to eat you. They are not going to sacrifice you. They are not going to do anything to you. When you stand in front of people who take control, anytime I want to enter a class, what I tell myself is that you are coming here to teach them what they don't know. I have that confidence. Don't be scared. I have that confidence that you can't know everything, but there's always a way to improve, but we are here to educate them. Do not fight your nerves. Welcome them. Don't start fighting your nerves that I'm scared, I'm having tension, I want to go to the restroom, I'm having heartbeat. Welcome it, it's part of it. It's part of it. Your body wants to accommodate what is not really new, but what it wants to experience. Because passing information requires frequency. Before you pass message from one point to another, it requires frequency. Whether you're using data, whether you're using text message, at least it goes through the mobile service provider, whether you're using Bluetooth. Not to talk of you wanting to pass message to people, because there is a neural connection, there is an unseen connection between us. So our data is flowing out of us and wants to go into them. So our body must vibrate. Your body must be tense. Don't make it a problem. I'm having a heartbeat. I can't talk. No, nothing. Don't let your voice shake. Control yourself. Welcome it. Winners overcome nerves, and you are all winners. Presenting is not something that is hard. Just build confidence. Don't be scared. When you feel your throat is dry, because your body responds to this fear in different ways. You start having palpitation, serious heartbeat. Control your heartbeat. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Look at the mirror. You can do it. There's no big deal about presentation, about training. If you want to drink water, take a glass cup of water. Look at the mirror, smile at yourself. You are going there to shoot. You are going there to hit the nail on the head. Don't be scared of their faces. Nothing is there. Be well prepared. Be a pro that you are at all times that you want to present. Don't say because you want to be energetic, you are now drinking all the coffee. No, calm down. Exercise yourself. If possible, do push-up before you go to the class. Do push-up. Build confidence. Always eat balanced diet. Rehearse your presentation if possible. Rehearse yourself in the morning. It's not necessary that you must rehearse what you want to talk about. You can just look at the mirror and just talk. My name is Wali. I'm here to talk about behavioral-based safety. I'm here to talk about process safety. And in this class, we're going to be looking at HAZOP, HAZID, failure mode effect analysis, and effect analysis. You're going to look at bow tie. You're going to do this. And at the end of the just look at the mirror and just express yourself. Build confidence. There is nothing. There's no big deal there. And I'm very sure that you would present excellently. To end it, to fail to prepare is to prepare to fail. So let us learn how to train others. Training, like I said, is not only about training in class. When you communicate to people, when you tell them what you know, you are already training them subconsciously. And there's a need for everyone to learn the principle, the concept, the notes, the T's, the I's, the crossing of the I's, crossing of the T's and dotting of the I's of training. And on this note, I thank you all for joining this class, and I hope we've all learned something today. Thank you, and God bless you. But before we end it today, please give me the opportunity to tell you that next week, our weekend class, will be having our ISO Integrated Management System Lead Auditor course, covering ISO 9001, 14001, and 45001. We'll be covering those three standards, and it's a weekend class. If you're interested, please send me a message to register. And April 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, we'll be having our Train the Trainer course. You want to miss this course? I promise you, it's going to be a full 3 days class, a full 3 days practical class. We are not jonesing on anything. We are going full. This is not a class to tell you to, this is not self-defense class. We are training you how to train. You know, I'm a black belter, third down black belter in Taekwondo. So this trainer is beyond that. It is practically about training. How do you deliver powerful training, from how to develop powerful slides to how to communicate, to how to train confidently. This Train the Trainer course is for you. And I will be inviting every one of us to attend this course. It is for you and you should attend it. Payment installment is allowed, and we'll be happy to have you. It's happening in a couple of weeks, like I said, April 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And it's AYOSH certification, internationally recognized certification, and we'll be happy to have you in class. It's virtual, so you can join from anywhere, from any part of the world, and we'll make our learning easier. We break it down into pieces for you to understand, and we also make the recordings available. In case you miss any part, you can always listen to it during the training period. And finally, we have our other courses for the month of April, May, and June. ISO 45001 weekend class, 5001. ISO 14001 lead auditor course 2 weekend class. ISO 22000, this is our first time, food safety. Trust me, when it comes to food safety, we have done food safety audits for top hotels that are even into leasing. In all these hotels that they will also do leasing, that they pay 200 million per apartment, all this high-rise building. We have audited a couple of their facilities, especially their kitchen, their hygiene processes, food safety. And trust me, you want to miss this class. Then ISO 9001, don't want to miss it also. And our next ISO class for the month of June. So you also want to miss this particular class. Then our AYOSH courses too, Train the Trainer course, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of April. Don't miss this class. HSE data analysis. Many of us don't know how to communicate in form of data. Many of us don't know how to interpret data to our top management. We have unsafe bat, unsafe condition, near misses, all these things. You don't know how to interpret it into Naira and Kobo. We don't know how to use Excel dashboard for our communication. People are giving great feedback of how this training transformed their organizational processes. We have AYOSH level 2 coming up, AYOSH level 3 too coming up very soon, permit to work training, project safety management training, our Train the Trainer course for the following batch in June, and our advanced construction safety management course. Thank you all. If you are interested in any of these courses, you can reach out to me. I'm going to drop my number in the chat room. I'm going to drop my number in the chat room, our numbers in the chat room to chat us about any point in time, 070-4549-497332. Oh, but in the waiting room, no, to everyone in the meeting. So join us. We are expecting every one of us to register. Thank you so much for staying up to this moment. We sincerely appreciate you. We thank you. We have many of us that have always supported us right from the beginning. So many of us supported us are setting the pace. I can see Mrs. Fatima. Thank you so much. I can see Mr. Adefela, Arofela. Thank you so much. I can see my colleagues. All of my colleagues are here. I can see Mr. Emmanuel Patogun. I can see Chinemi Okafor. Chinemi Okafor has already registered for our Train the Trainer course already. So it means that it's going to be powerful. Mr. Goodluck, I can see you. Mr. Henry, thank you, everyone. At this point, if you have any question, please let us make our question brief, because your boy is fasting and you want me to faint here before you. So please, if you have any question, let us quickly ask our question. Let us raise our hand if you have any question. Okay, it means the class has gone successfully. Thank you so much once again. I sincerely appreciate you. I sincerely appreciate you, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you in class. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Thank you. You can all unmute now and appreciate ourselves. Thank you for joining the class, and we sincerely appreciate you. Thank you so much, Mr. Idris Kehinde, for the feedback. Thank you, Mr. Atoy of Regene. Thank you, Mr. Israel.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Enjoy
Mr.
your
Jude.
evening.
Thank you.
Have a blessed
Thank you,
week.
Mr. Fiat.
Thank
Thank you, Mr. Fiat. Always here
Thank
with
you
us.
very much for a
I really
wonderful
enjoyed the training for
presentation.
today. Actually, this is my
Thank
first
you,
time. I really
everyone.
enjoyed the training.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir. We are looking forward to having you all in any of our courses. Trust me, you're going to gain value for attending our trainings. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. So as usual, we are going to count
Thank you,
from.
Wali, for your very good presentation.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. I sincerely appreciate you. So we are counting from 10 as usual. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Someone is just joining us now. 3, 2, 1. You bash my car now. What do you want to do?